Siddharth, I'll come to you first. Given you are an authority in this space, give us an idea. Explain to us what a standard morality clause is.
Well, unfortunately, a standard morality clause is fairly vague. It would say something along the lines of the person, the contractor, the contractee is not permitted to behave in a manner which would be detrimental to the contractor, to the party they're signing the contract with. It does not specify a timeline. It does not specify what kind of behaviors. It does not specify whether this behavior would be pursuant to signing the contract or prior in time. So say, for example, someone has a minor misdemeanor. They were involved in a drunken brawl, say 3 months back, 6 months back. That content, now in the age of virality, that piece of video surfaces on the internet suddenly after they've signed the contract. Now, that could also be construed as triggering the morality clause.
We'll get to maybe that aspect of it in terms of the extent of these clauses, but break it down a little bit for me and give it to me in the sense of like an influencer and a creator. Today, as a creator, if I go to a brand, what are they serving up to me in that contract, in that morality clause? Can you define that a little bit more for us? Explain it, break it down.
All right. So basically what the brand is telling the influencer is that you cannot do anything which would be detrimental to our brand value. We are paying you an amount to promote our brand. Now, tomorrow, if there is any kind of public discontent or anyone raises some kind of red flag saying, okay, hey, brand XYZ, your influencer behaved in this manner, and this is not something which goes with your brand ethos. So we are not comfortable with that. Now, morality is very vague because it's very subjective. It differs from culture to culture, from country to country, from region to region. And from more than that, it differs from time to time. What is considered moral today may have not been considered moral even 20 years back in India or in other countries, and vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely. Rohit, of course, you're on the front lines of everything that's happening in the ecosystem, given that you work with talent, you manage talent. When you're looking at these contracts and you're seeing the emergence of these hard to understand paragraphs in contracts, and within that, of course, morality clauses. When did it start? Give us a sense of, how it became such a critical aspect of these contracts. And after that, also tell me a little bit about, the talent view on it, your view on it.
Right. So I would say the way it started was when this term called as cancel culture came into place. So there is this new term which the internet has been using in the past 3-4 years, which says that you are cancelled, which means that you're off the public domain now. It's because you did certain actions or you did something that didn't fit well with us. So ever since this thought of cancel culture has come in, is when brands have started putting it as a morality clause in their piece of document, which Siddharth rightly pointed out that it's quite vague, right? Because what was acceptable a couple of years ago might not be acceptable now, and vice versa. It kind of changes with different demographics, like what is acceptable to one demographic might not be acceptable to another demographic. So how this sort of boils down to an influencer is, see, an influencer is based essentially on 2 pillars. One is relatability and the other is trust. I will relate with an influencer is why I would consume the content of the influencer. You take away that relatability, I probably don't care about them. The second aspect being trust. I trust the piece of information they are giving me. I trust them with my time, right? Now, what an influencer always expects from a brand is, let us take care of the trust element, that let's not miscommunicate or misinform to a customer. But the relatability angle, which is my creativity as an influencer, let me have that. Let me sort of lead it. Let me, not put red tapes around that. the morality clause at this point, considering, recent consequences that have happened, with certain internet IPs that have gone viral, the morality clause now is that your creativity also needs to come with red tapes, right? Ideally, the red tapes should have been, don't do anything illegal on stream, or don't miscommunicate any facts in a wrong manner, or fully disclose your sources. Like these are the right ways to guide your customer, to guide your audience. But now the vagueness is to the point where brand is saying that if you say or do anything that affects or disturbs the sentiments of your audience, we will take legal action without looking left, right, and center. So that's where the creator is facing a lot of challenge.
So, and we were discussing this earlier as well. Currently, the way it stands, it's very one-sided. I don't know if you want to bring up the examples, Rohit, that you shared with me when we were talking earlier on some of the infringements that brands see as infringements to the contract and clauses, which perhaps give us a sense about how that vagueness is open to so much interpretation.
Right.
Can you share a few examples?
Absolutely. So, I deal very closely with live streamers, people who create content not as an edited piece, but rather they go live on platforms like YouTube and Instagram, and they create like 2 hours of sort of unfiltered content there, right? Now, we had a certain brand collaboration in place with an influencer. The influencer simply went on stream and he was wearing a t-shirt that was green in color, right? Now, there was no challenge from the brand, no challenge from anyone, but there was a certain segment of the audience that interpreted this in a very different manner. And they started spamming the comments saying that, hey, you're anti-national, you're this, you're that, and all of that starts happening, right? Now, the brand is coming to us saying that, hey, I'm having negative sentiments on my sponsored stream, which is, sort of a waste of my money. I want to terminate the contract. I want this thing to end. Now, this is where the question of where do we draw the boundary of morality in a contract comes in. Because very technically speaking, the influencer in question over here did not speak anything wrongly, did not do anything wrongly. It was just an interpretation of a certain segment of the audience that did not sit well with them. Does that give the right to a brand to terminate a contract without having any further discussions on what kind of remedy can we do for this? How do we address the audience? And that is where one thing that I strongly feel should come into picture is a remedy period. That okay, things might go wrong and we never know what could go wrong. Let's have like a 48-hour to 72-hour remedy period in which we are coming up with actions, we are coming up with, let's say whether it's a public apology, whether it's a public clarification, or whether it's just being media silent for that matter. But letting that come into picture rather than just jumping into the fact that, hey, we are terminating, everything that's in place.